Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is Google Analytics Audit. So, Google Analytics Audit is basically an add on which is used to determine what data is like what data we already have and how this data gathered, and this the data of a good quality. Is it worth going into the data, tracking more of client, his implementation more useful, analyzing, giving him insights and changing what he wants. Basically, audit is something done by agency for a client, and it typically analyzes the data, analyzes client's need, and then analyzes its his site's data, give suggestions and making report. So this is what basically an audit is. We will have a look for it throughout. So in order to determine the state of the client's Google Analytics profile or Google Analytics audit checklist continue to keep up data as Google Analytics role in any new feature. So we cover a few steps when we talk about Google Analytics audit. So let's explore those. First is questions. The very question is, how do you use Google Analytics? What type of company is yours? How does your business relate to Google Analytics? What do you want to get out of Google Analytics? What crucially they want from Google Analytics is the main motto of this. Like, how do you want to use it? What level are you currently using it? What type of company are you? What are you thinking of getting out of it? Like, what are your goals? So these questions are really need to be done at the very beginning, and this is a bit time consuming process, but yes, clients requirements must be known at the very beginning. The next step is technical audit. Now, this is where you put in your Google Analytics skills to use. This is kind of the main phase, you can say. Okay. So, you probably have a checklist of different Google Analytics features, and to check for and make sure that everything is working correctly or everything is implemented. For example, if a client doesn't even have a Google Analytics account, so you have to start it from the very beginning. So we have a checklist that covers almost everything, and it totally depends on users need. So let let me show you an example. Like, I have this checklist. I downloaded it from Measure School. I will put the link in the description. So see, this these are the kind of things we our checklist must have: account setup, tracking code installation and receiving data versions, view setup, location of code, and configuring goals, internal search, content grouping, channel grouping, UTM tagging, AdWords, webmaster, event tracking, e-commerce tracking, report, dashboard, etc. So this is just a demo, and we can have our own checklist. In fact, we have some apps by which we can do so. Like, this is a very famous app, Google Analytics Audit. You can install it, you can have the add-on installed, and you can work on it. I will give the link in the description below. So here's a video how you can get to know it. The video is in the link itself. So yes, it is a good tool. Coming back to our topic, so this will give you a great documentation also for later, like an overview of how your Google Analytics is, what is the current state of your client's Google Analytics. Okay. And this is the question arises, like, why checklist? So we have some major 3 points here, like comprehensiveness. Without checklist, you will probably discover the obvious technical problems with the site. Okay, using checklist ensures to remember and check all the relevant. See, sometimes it happens like we forget some points, small points or something. So checklist is something like having a timetable for your school or for your day. So it helps things keeping in order. Productivity. Working with a checklist take without a checklist takes more efforts. When work is being divided, like suppose for a thing you have to do 10 things and you have written it somewhere, so it is easier to do things with a checklist. Communicable, rigorously define your work with a checklist lets you delegate. So yes, it is kind of to maintain a good order and to have your team work for you or for your clients also. So it is a good practice and a good tool, I will say, a checklist. Next point is prioritize. So yes, the prioritize, there's a saying, Google Analytics is not one size fits all. Okay, it means is that not all features are relevant for the business that you're looking at. For example, if I have a content business and if the checklist I'm using is for suppose an e-commerce business, so these both have different, you can say, goal. So content business is something different, e-commerce business is something different, so they have different priorities and different goals, so you must keep them in mind while doing the audit thing. Like they must achieve their particular goal and what are their priorities. Okay, so the next step is treatment suggestions or recommendations, whatever you can say. So it is not enough to just go through the points and the checklist and say this is not working and that is not implemented, you should fix them, you should see them, or rather prioritize and making suggestions on how to fix them. You should, the main solution, not the main concern is not telling the problem, it is giving the solutions to the problem. Okay, so you have to give suggestions to your clients that where they can work on and what feature is lacking lagging, and things that will make their analytic level from go from beginner to an advanced level. Okay, so this is, and the next point is last but not least, reporting the data basically. So this report is really a final delivery to the project and final for the delivery project, but also a great starting for the further engagement also. And this process, this can be defined in I think two three categories. Like you can have a long PDF also, from where you can give all the data reports and suggestions and checklists or in a PDF manner, and you can send them to the client. Or you can have a checklist, you can tick all the points that they have, cross all the points that they do not have, and list some of the suggestions there. Or you can also have the personal explanation of the things that are not present here. So it totally depends upon you what you are looking at. So this is up for this audit, and we'll catch back soon. Thank you.